Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped. Welcome back to Mulgari Cars and episode 2 of the Project PP build. Now, the little Mini is behind me on ramps. A lot has happened since our last time here. So first up, we're going to have a bit of an update from Darren on what we've done with the car, but today is all about suspension and brakes. Now then, mate, the front of the car's missing.
Yeah, I lost it.
I know. So I arrived today and there's bits missing all over the car. We've had it now a good couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So you've had time to really start to
understand it, plan it.
A look.
Yes.
So let's give the guys a bit of an update as to where we were. We knew last time we were here that the engine was not in great shape.
It's definitely not.
You've bored it or scoped it?
Yeah, I bore scoped it, and the inner cylinder walls are corroded quite heavily where the water's been sat in there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of as we expected. There's quite a lot of water damage. So because we want to retain this block, hopefully, we're probably going to be lining it so we can overbore those cylinders and then stick a fresh liner in there.
Yeah. So I came today thinking that the engine was going to be out, but there's a good reason why it's still in.
There is, because we're doing some suspension work today.
Yeah.
Although it won't be finally set, we need to have an idea on where our ride height's going to be.
Yeah.
Because we've got adjustable ride height going on the car. And
Yeah.
obviously, I can't simulate the weight of the engine without the engine being there. So it's ready to come out, but we've left it hung in the car purely so we can put wheels on, put it on the deck and try and get a ride height adjusted.
So next week, engine's coming out.
It is.
And then it's going to have quite a lot of work done to it.
A lot of machining work and bits and pieces for obviously installing the liners, but also we'll have forged pistons and rods going in there. The crank will all be polished. It'll all be balanced and so on, ready for me to build it all back up.
Okay. But we don't want to talk too much about the engine because we'll do an episode once the engine's back and we're putting it back in.
It's going back in.
Other bits and bobs, we've I guess the big thing is ordering bits, speaking to suppliers and getting things
Trying
in
to get
train.
stuff in. I mean, at the moment, because the world's a bit of a messy place, stuff's slightly delayed coming in, so annoyingly our wheels aren't here yet. I've got a couple of bits.
The wheels are amazing, by the way.
Top secret. A couple of the body bits haven't arrived yet. There are a number of bits, peripheral bits and pieces, ancillaries that haven't quite got here yet either, but I don't need them yet. So
Yeah.
it's all organised, just not quite here yet.
But there are some bits that are here, and that's why I'm here.
Yes, it is, because he's going to get his hands dirty. I might give him some gloves.
So this one, we're basically going to talk about the suspension and brake setup that we're putting on the car. And for me, actually, the bit I'm most excited about is trying to get across to you guys the work that this guy can do with a decent suspension and braking setup on a car.
With the right components.
And one of the things we want to do is, today is all going to be about the components we're actually fitting, the reasons why. I guess there's lots of things you could put lots of different setups on the car.
Yeah,
so
the list is endless.
Why have we gone the way we've gone? And then I'm going to fit them, which will be a bit of fun. And then once they're on and the car's done, the bit I want to do in another video is actually go through an almost like Janet and John does car setup.
Yeah, alignment, geometry setup, reasons behind why we do what we do. Some of the areas that perhaps aren't very easy to understand when you just drop a car. You're lowering its centre of gravity, but there's a lot around roll centre, which we will do in the other video, which I think is very beneficial for people to understand all of these theoretical measurements or your alignment printouts. Why are you looking at that dimension or that dimension and what effect that has? Yeah,
so what I thought I'd do is if any of you've got any specific questions about car setup, put them in the comments below, and then what we'll do when we do that video,
try to answer,
because I want to try and debunk all the kind of things like camber, caster, toe in, toe out, all of the stuff that if you took your car to an alignment centre after you've had some tyres fitted, you get that lovely report and you look at it and go, I don't actually understand any of that.
As long as it's green,
it's green,
must be good.
it's okay.
Yeah.
So to do that, so let's then start talking about what we've got. So I reckon we go and have a look at the bench over there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. A bench of loveliness.
Goodies.
I know. So should we do suspension first? Because there's a whole, I mean, this video could be literally an hour long just on suspension options.
It could.
So what's your thought process. One of the things I want to do is a lot of the ideas and thoughts behind what we're doing to the car have come from Darren, from your years of experience. You know, there's some of the aesthetics things, I quite like it if it looked like this, but when it comes to suspension and brakes, I didn't go, oh, this is what I think we should do. I said, Darren, what should we do? And he said, we're doing this.
Yeah,
basically. So what have we got?
So we've got, from our buddies at Bilstein, it is their kind of entry-level coilover kit, specific for the cabriolet. So the valving and the spring rates and stuff are designed to carry this weight of car. I deviated slightly from the original plan that I was going with a fixed damper and a fixed spring, which gives you a set drop. Mm-hmm. But the drop's quite aggressive, even in iBack trim. So what I wanted was to have the ability to adjust the ride height. So we've got adjustable perches on these, but retain the same kind of spring weight and the same damping efficiency.
Can I take that off?
You can.
Look at these bad boys. Keep talking, mate. Keep talking.
Right, so it is a gas-filled damper, obviously from Bilstein, with the valving correct for this car. And the two black collars you can see on there are the spring perch, which is on a threaded piece on the outside of the shock body, allowing you to wind up and down to dictate the ride height that you want. Yeah. Which once we've set it, that's it, it's set. We're not going to be changing it every other day of the week. But if you were a track goer, these would do a fantastic job for you there as well, because you can manipulate your ride height to suit. Exactly the same theory on the rear, just a slightly smaller damper. It does not have damping adjustment available. I don't want all of that for this car, because it's not a racing car. Yeah. And it's a top-line product. You know, this is of the suspension manufacturers out there. You know, we're partnering with good people, good quality components made out in Germany. Yeah, and you guys, I know you use Bilstein and have a great relationship with them. And big shout out, because sourcing these for this particular car, they really pulled one out the bag. To get these for us. Absolutely. So it's a nice kit, and it's actually effectively what the GP1 uses. Right. Much like the GP2, some of the Mini guys and girls will know it is a Bilstein setup that was used on the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 GPs. So there is also the fact that this is a tried and tested set. From the GP point of view, we're obviously not making a GP replica here, but it does give us the adjustment scope we want to get the end product that we want.
Cool. So that's dampers.
It is.
We're putting those on. Now, this is a much bigger disc than is on the car already.
Yes, it is.
The size of that.
It's still vented. It is perforated and slotted, which is to do with keeping the pad surface fluffed up all the time, so that they're there when you need them, when you hit them. They're a much bigger diameter, so better thermal efficiency from the point of view of when you are hammering them. Yeah. They'll stand up to that much better. But also we are running a 4-pot monoblock caliper now, rather than the little knuckle cast iron single piston caliper.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna look wicked as well.
Yeah.
Really smart.
It gives better stopping ability anyway, with the added advantage of the fact that they will cool better. Yeah. There's a larger mass. And we'll back that up with a nice braided line.
I was going to say, are these braided? I
they are, of
assume
course.
They are. This is very nice.
Less flex available in that line over rubber, so your pedal feel is improved. And it's kind of future-proofing it. Yeah. They don't degrade like a rubber hose would.
And then last thing, pad-wise, because I know lots about pads now with my...
Yes.
I've got the wrong pads on my Mini, by the way.
Silly with them. They're a faster road for road option, so they don't require loads of heat to get them working. They work straight out of the box like a conventional pad would. Yeah. They work nicely with this disc. They're a little bit superior to that of the baseline road set that you could also run with this. We've just gone a little more racy because of what the car will be used for. Yeah. Cool. Right, I'll go and grab a cup of coffee and you can get them fitted then. Cool, excellent. Am I your stunt double for the day?
Yeah, no, well, you know what you're doing. I don't really need to.
No. There you go, mate. I'll go and drink some coffee. You get to it.
Okay. I'm up for this. Right. He's going to get coffee. I'm going to do some work.
Good luck, mate.
Thanks. So first thing, Okay, I'm going to take the brake caliper off.
Yes, yes, yeah.
So I need to take this hose out first.
You
Is
do.
that a single finger
That's
jobby?
a single finger pollet. Heave.
I tell you what, it ended off. There we
Hey!
go. Woo.
Good stuff.
Yep. And then these
Down
two
the back
bolts.
of the caliper, yeah. Let's lose the carrier.
Was it righty tighty, lefty loosey?
It should be going the right way for you, sir.
It's even the right size, look.
I know, right? Heave. It'll go. Don't let me show you up.
Oh, here we go.
It's going, it's going. That's it. Heave, heave.
It is pretty tight, actually.
They usually are. It's fairly important that they're bolted to the car tight.
Hey.
See, there's no staging of stuff here.
No, come
Genuine.
on. Right, and then one down the bottom.
One down the bottom. Yeah, it's there, I promise.
Yeah, all right, all right. Tell you what, it's very, very tight. I feel like Matt Armstrong.
I'll hang on to this side for you. Stop it moving. That's it. No gym work for you today.
No, I don't need to do that. This is like the best Ironman training ever. I'm going to take the bottom one off properly first.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons we wanted to do this was these are jobs that
People can do at home
can
with
do at
the
home.
right safety measures in place and the right understanding and the correct tools.
well, the thing is, when I was a kid, I don't know whether they do them anymore, Haynes manuals.
Yeah,
I mean, all of the stuff I did on my first car, which
step by
was
step.
Haynes manuals were just brilliant.
I still have some here.
It's coming off. This caliper and brake disc has seen better days, hasn't it?
Yes, it has, yeah.
In fact.
So the disc won't fall off, there's still a screw in it. You're all
Yeah,
right.
but that thing, oh no, I was going to say it's,
There you go, up
Really?
over the back there, hang it down the back. Now we are going to hang it on the hose, not because we're irresponsible, but because we're changing the hose, so
Yes.
we don't need to worry about it.
cool.
Okay, cool.
And then,
You'll need, right, try that
one
one.
of them.
One of them, hopefully.
Now you've loosened this off a little bit for me already,
because
haven't you,
they're
mate?
a bit of a nuisance sometimes. And just so that we don't kill your toes with
Yeah.
your correct safety
Oh,
footwear
I
on.
nearly bought me hardware, me things from Vintage Voltage.
So, all the rusty, messy stuff on here,
Yeah.
that's what causes brake judder.
Okay. So what do we do to get rid of it? Because that's staying, obviously.
Yeah, so this is where your disc surface is mounted to.
Yeah.
We need this to be clean, free of dirt, and specifically free of corrosion.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll get awful brake judder. So I have a soft grinding pad to clean that up with,
Okay.
and some spectacles.
Yes, we want to wear the correct PPE.
Yes, we do.
Don't they?
Lovely. Yeah, see all that nice looking machined sort of shape you've got going on. That's good.
Done.
Yep, that'll do nicely. Let me go and kill the noisy compressor.
Made sparks and everything.
I
Fantastic.
know, right?
Give it a
Just got
whine.
brake cleaner on it, so I'm just going to get rid of the worst of the tarnish.
Amazing.
Right, so that's nice and clean, and there's no rusty stuff there anymore.
So the new disc can go on.
No.
Oh.
Backing grease. Not loads, just a little.
Yep.
You've got gloves on, so I'll do this bit.
Yeah, I don't want to. I manicured my fingernails this morning. I don't want to, damage
That's
them.
all right, they'll be ruined by the end of the day, mate,
Yeah.
don't you worry. Right, that's just an anti-corrosion compound we're putting on there, just to stop any build-up of rust
Yep.
once the disc is on.
New disc. Have you got the old? Where's the old disc?
I have
let's
got
do
the
a,
old
Let's do a side-by-side comparison of the new disc versus the old disc for everyone, because
You can have the pretty one.
that's the new one. The size difference. It's nuts, man.
Yeah, much better thermal efficiency and everything. So, yeah.
So
happy days.
that's got to go at the top because there's that little. Have we got a different screw? A new screw?
And we're going to use the original screws for now.
So if I hold that on, you can look at that. Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's what it's all about. You can let go of that now. It can't fall off.
All right.
I'm supposed to be drinking coffee. You're supposed to be doing it.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's a multitasking kind of job.
Yeah, just nip that in, that's fine. It's only really to hold it in place. So, okay, step one complete.
That was easy.
Next.
Next. Oh, here we go, calipers. Right.
Shiny bits.
Shiny bits.
Again, we're going to use the old bolts for the moment because we're still in dry build phase.
Yeah.
So these are correct. They go in those little
Yeah.
doodahs in there. So you need to carefully slot it over. So
Yeah.
obviously the disc comes through the gap in the middle. Then try and line the holes up. And that goes inside of there, that's it.
Yeah.
And they are a bit of a fiddle first go round usually.
Yeah.
You're in there. Let me have a little go down
There
here
you go.
for you.
Got them. That one's, oh no.
No. Yeah, so sometimes
Dad!
they are always slightly close to the backplate up in there, so sometimes you just need a bit of extra help. Do you know any pros?
No,
neither do I.
that's why I came to you.
Okay, cool.
And then I was going to say, I'm so glad you did that. I was loosening it off. I'm not a complete.
It would have been awkward if we dropped the nice new caliper because that wouldn't end well.
No. So now do these need a torquing?
Up. Yes, they will do. Again, we're dry building at the
Yeah.
moment, so I'm not too worried about torquing everything up, but I will include somewhere for later on a big sheet full of torque settings for this model.
Yeah.
Because there's everything, and we'll cover a lot of that in the engine build because everything's stretch bolt and torqued. Similarly with the suspension. But for now, knit together so we can get it dry built and ensure everything fits and does what it's supposed to do.
Cool.
So cool. Right, step 2 was good. Next, we probably need to slot some brake pads in.
Oh, we're doing that, are we?
Yes. And some shims and some pins and that sort of stuff.
That looks complicated.
No, it's not that hard. You know our backing grease we used a minute ago?
Yeah.
I'm going to put some on these. So because it's a 4-pot caliper, so you have a piston top and bottom in each one, at about that position on each pad is roughly where your piston will contact. So you want a little bit in each of those locations and nowhere else.
Not on the other side, obviously.
Definitely not on the other side. Sometimes you'll find putting them on the ends can help, but in these, they're such a nice fit, you don't need to worry.
Yeah.
So I'll smush that around a bit for you to make about the size of the piston.
Can you grease me up as well?
Oh yeah, of course I will. Anytime, anything for you, mate. Now these don't matter, they're not handed pads.
These aren't, so they're not
handed. They have this L&R connotation on them, but this is more to do with where your brake wear sensor is located.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter, they'll be the same
in
any direction.
I want to buy that because they got.
So as long as your friction face is facing the disc, you've got it right. I have watched many people put them in backwards.
I might not be a great mechanic, but I did get that bit.
Yeah. So pick a side, wherever you want to put it, mate.
And then just slide in.
Yeah, once you've got it lined up, they can be a little bit awkward to start with until you get lined up perfectly. There you go. Nice, nice, nice.
There you go, for that.
In the same kind of location, slide it in, sir.
Slid in, very nice, very nice.
Super. Right, retaining shim.
Oh my goodness me.
Or anti-rattle shim, they have lots of different names. It's a sprung piece of metal that pushes against the ears of the pad.
Yeah.
Stops it all chattering around.
Yeah.
Nice shiny new pins.
Yes.
These are a fiddle, so bear with me whilst I try and find the low alignment position.
Look at that.
That'll be too easy.
Hey!
Right.
Excellent.
Lots of hammering. Right, they're in.
Hey!
That's it. The
Brakes
pads are
done.
in. No. How's the fluid going to get there?
Oh yeah.
There you go, mate.
Are they both, is that
Different
on
ends.
a male and female?
Correct. That's the caliper end.
Yeah.
Your one's in there.
Yeah.
It's all nice and fresh at the moment, so it should be fairly easy. There she goes.
Yeah, I'm in.
Perfect. So wind that all the way in with your hands until it won't go any further.
And then you can just nip
I'm
that up.
going to nip that up on there because this is not a free floating end. You turn the entire hose when you're nipping these up. So I'm going to make sure it's reasonably tight now because in a minute when we do the other end you won't be able to turn it and we don't want twists.
No.
Right, there you go.
And that's
That
this
end's
end.
done.
is going to go around there into there, I guess.
So that little rubber doodah I mentioned
Yes.
is the same little rubber doodah that you took out earlier on. So that fits in there. It's not fit it yet though, because when we're going to move on and change the suspension, we're going to be pulling it in and out of there.
Yeah, good plan.
So the next bit up here is not a lot of fun. It's a steel brake pipe, and it is steel that joins through a ferrule to our flexible hose. They have a tendency to seize up, not the fitting into the hose, but the steel union on the end of the steel pipe seizes together. So it's very easy when you go to crack them off for it to grab the pipe, turn and twist it and snap it. So we don't want to be doing that. So we need some penetrating oil and a wire brush.
Okay.
First. You are about to get properly dirty, just so you know.
Why, is there going to be brake fluid flying everywhere?
Yeah. What we're going to do reasonably quickly, hopefully in a minute, is to get this unwound, the new pipe put in, and wound back up. Fight a bit more than the other one did.
So if you twisted that and the brake hose basically just twisted around itself and snapped in half, that'd be bad, right?
Yeah, if it snaps the steel pipe, it's a pain because you have to then fabricate new. You can buy them pre-made, pre-shaped, but given this runs behind the engine along the bulkhead of the car, with the engine in the car, it's not easy to change. I do make my own out of copper, but it's the same deal. Access is nearly impossible. So, in an ideal world, you don't want to break these. Well, at the moment, we have got some movement, although it's fighting slightly. And once it's been undone and we've fitted it to the new hose, there's no need to disturb them again. And they're actually in reasonably good shape. It's always just these ends, the way they fit together, they get moisture inside them, and road salt, and it binds itself together. There we go. That'll do nicely.
Look at that.
I'm just going to wipe off the drippy brake fluid so we don't ruin our nice shiny new hoses. They're accidentally colour coordinated.
Yeah, accidentally.
Accidentally on purpose.
Look at that.
There you go, mate. You did a really good job of that. Well done. I'm proud of you.
It's so patronising. So that's brakes.
So that's it. They're almost working. We will need to bleed them in order for them to operate correctly, which we may or may not do in a minute.
No. So.
Right, one. This one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Undo that. That is our anti-roll bar link. We need to remove it. Heave. Heave. That coffee's not working.
Oh, there we go. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Wind that all the way out.
Is it coming out completely?
Yes. That's it.
Is that in there? Oh, yes.
Yeah, cool. So
cool.
That's now out of our way, because that's attached directly to our shock absorber. I'll take that and that out of your way. Then you need this one here for our pinch bolt at the bottom of the shock absorber on the other side.
Here.
Yes. That one can come all the way out as well, please.
That one was nice and light. You might have let that one off, have you?
I couldn't possibly say.
I think you might help me with that one. Save me going to the gym. God, it's super long.
Yeah, tug on it as well. It might be slightly stuck in the tail of the hound.
Hey.
There she goes. Fabulous. Right, park that over there. Fabulous. Just that out of the way. There you go, sir. Merry Christmas. One new Bilstein damper, one new Bilstein spring. Our original top spring hat from the old dampers with a nice cutaway for the top of the spring to sit in, which we need to retain the spring first. We have a washer that goes between the two, we'll pop in there. And we have our original top mount, which whilst it looks dirty, is in very good shape. It hasn't done many miles. And then a retaining nut. And you'll notice the absence here of having to use a spring compressor because currently the spring platform is wound all the way to the bottom.
Yep.
So we can build this up with no tension on it and then wind the spring tension in once it's on the car.
Very cool.
Nice and simple. Never drop your nuts, Pete.
I'm never going to drop my nuts. I've done that before. Drop them down some horrible, difficult to reach place.
Oh, to the abyss that is the engine bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that goes that way.
That way? Yeah.
Again, do these need to be torqued?
They do need to be torqued, but for the time being, we will nip them in so we can assemble the rest of it.
Yeah.
And then I always torque top mounts up with the weight of the vehicle sat on them.
Ah,
So they're not on droop.
Yeah. Yes. You've got to torque your nuts, make sure you're not drooping
Always
at the same
torque your
time.
nuts. Absolutely.
Torque your nuts
right.
when you're not drooping.
See, it's all this terminology that the motor trade has. It's quite entertaining. Right, that'll do us nicely for that bit.
Yep.
Next, we've got to get that back in there and that up there and do that up, and that's it, we're finished. Road test.
Apart from the fact the engine doesn't work.
Small detail. Carry on, sir. You haven't finished yet.
Hey, so I'm going to take an educated guess here. This is the reverse of what we did before.
Correct.
Excellent. So there should
Yes.
be a point. Oh, yeah, rock and roll. Have you adjusted it?
That's right. Put it on super strong setting.
Yeah. They do look good, don't they?
They are. Shiny bits. Shiny bits always make
Shiny
cars faster.
bits.
Okay, you've done that. You've done that. Can you see the two things that you need to do to finish?
Yes,
I know you know as well.
I do. This little
That one,
grommet
yeah.
needs to go on
That's
here.
right. That's your ABS sensor wiring. Imperative that it's clipped in for the same reason that we spoke about the hose earlier, so it doesn't get wrecked.
So just
Yeah, they're nice and tight. Find the recess and then hope that you don't stab yourself in the thumb trying to push them in.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen.
Quite possibly.
There you go.
Oh, you've done that.
And then this one.
Yes. Tuck our brake hose in. They are very, very tight usually. Oh, look, he's done that. Yeah, it made me look daft.
Look at that.
Nailed it. Cool. Apprenticeship day one complete.
There you go. That's all right.
So yeah, there you go. That's pretty much it. From here, we can adjust ride height on the perches and stuff when we get to actually set the car up. But they're nailed on the car now. That's always a good thing. There you go. You passed.
Excellent. Now you can do the others now.
Cool. Thanks, mate. I'll get on with that later.
They'll do all right.
Yeah, you passed. You passed level 1. There's lots more levels yet.
I know. Something tells me that's not going to be the last time I get my hands dirty on
No,
this project.
definitely not. It's too much fun. We've got to get you involved.
That is all for this episode. Now, clearly, there's a lot to do still setup-wise and dropping it and getting all the ride heights and
do
stuff.
that more towards the end when everything's in and the vehicle weight is as it would be, with the interior revised and everything else.
So there's still so much to do. So I think the next thing for you, I guess, is engine out, and that's got to go off and have some
Machining.
work done, and then you're going to rebuild the engine. We'll talk more about that.
Yes.
There's so much exciting stuff happening on the interior side of things. I think the interior, well, we didn't kind of say before, but it's a convertible. So when you've got the top down, the interior is
the
going to
focal
be
point
the
of the
most
car.
important thing.
Yeah.
So we've got some super cool stuff happening with the interior. The wheels, have I mentioned the wheels already? Maybe a few times.
Maybe a couple of times.
Stay tuned for the wheels. So lots and lots and lots of exciting stuff. So stay tuned for episode 3. But for now, I'm going to go and grab some lunches. Oh, work being a mechanic. I'm really hungry now.
Takes a lot keeping this kind of shape.
I know, yeah, I can understand why you're skinny as a rate now.
I know, right?
Anyway, guys, a massive thank you to Darren, and also a huge thanks to Bilstein as well, because they really pulled it out of the bag for it's a beautiful looking product. They're in terms of what they deliver on the car as well. Yeah, we've chosen them for a reason. Really good piece. Yeah, we've not just chosen them because they look pretty, they are as good as they get. But yeah, mega, because we were very lucky sourcing those for the car. So thanks, Bilstein. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye.
All right, mate.
I hope
Thank
you
you very
enjoyed
much.
that. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome. Don't forget, if you've got any questions about setup,
particularly
stick them in the comments.
stick them in the comments.
And we'll try and cover that when we do our setup video. But otherwise, don't forget, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe for plenty more content to come. I'll see you on the next film with this dude.
Thanks, guys.